for that.
All agents have?
Okay. You guys all have tickets?
Yes.
Perfect, awesome. Perfect, awesome. All right, so welcome. Today is March 13th? March 13th, 2024. What's been happening? What's been going on? You know, in terms of your business. What's been going on? You guys been talking to buyers, sellers? What have you guys been experiencing in the market? I would like to hear.
More listings to come into the market?
More listings, so we're seeing inventory increase, right? And typically we usually see that towards after the Super Bowl weekend, which is kind of weird. But I guess people watch football, they watch their team win or lose, and it's like, okay, now it's time to sell houses, right? So that's usually what happens. Okay, so what else are we seeing in the market?
The market is still hot.
Market's still hot. So Tina, let's talk about that. What do you mean market's still hot?
So like the past weekend, I went to a how do you say it? A brand new home, but then it's not ready yet. They're having their public grand opening this weekend, but they allow I guess VIP agents to go view the property, the model
And Tina,
home.
you were there, so that means you
Yes.
were VIP. I love
Yes.
it. Yes.
So it was a lot of people, even though it's not open to the public yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this Saturday, if you guys have a chance, try to be there because it's gonna be a good experience. You're gonna see a lot of people in that model homes for sure. You know the preserve in Chino, KB Home. Yeah, you can easily find it on the if you Google KB Home at the preserve brand new home, you will see it. Yeah, they're having the grand opening this Saturday.
Awesome, I love it. So
So
inventory's
you
increased.
Experience, you know, the motivation, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys need to be out there talking to people. That's
Yes.
what I'm hearing. I love it.
I want
Awesome.
to get to
What
know the
about
sales team.
Howard's experience with a hot market?
Oh,
Yes.
He's
yeah.
not here to talk about it.
Yes, yeah, he's actually showing a restaurant right now, so that's a good excuse.
Showing a restaurant.
Yeah, he's supposed to bring back some food, so that was part of it. You're showing a restaurant, bring back some food. So that's the agreement. Yeah, so Howard had about 200 groups come in between Saturday and Sunday.
Oh my
He picked up 50 leads from it. He
50,
was-
not 1-5.
Yeah, he picked up
50.
50 leads from it. He received 10 offers. It's highest the offer that they accepted is over 100,000.
Yes.
That's listed at, and now he's setting a new record for this neighborhood. So now he's bringing this neighborhood up to $1 million neighborhood.
Wow.
And the buyer removed all their contingencies up front, so there's no contingencies.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and they already submitted the earnest money deposit, released it to the seller already.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So and that literally happened just over the weekend. So I mean the market's hot. I mean that's definitely what we are experiencing. So we'll definitely plan a time to actually go out into the neighborhood and knock on doors because we know when one person sells, typically 2 or 3 sellers are out there. So we'll definitely do that. Mr. Tom.
And you know, the events are really a very popular thing, especially right now, because there's a lot of buyers out there. I was working with David and Jeanette and Jackson worked the event too this weekend. And I know he, on Saturday, he got 20 leads on Saturday. And I think Jackson got 3 commercial leads that he's working on. So those events, you definitely got to go out there and put your 10 up with KW. And I'll tell you something else. There was a lady that went to the Century 21 tent. She came to ours and said they were rude. And she loved that Dave was educating them. And then they educated her on Prop 19. So then in return, she says, would you be interested to have your team come and talk every other month at South Hills Academy, where all the teachers and stuff get together for their big meeting?
Wow.
And Dave says, yes. She goes, well, it's next Saturday. We're in. We'll do it. So
Wow, that's
again,
awesome.
just out there meeting people.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, love it. And it's just about you guys getting out there in the community, getting people to see who
In
you
the
are.
community, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Perfect. Anything else before we move forward? Going once? Going twice? All right, moving on. All right. So, our mission statement is to build careers worth having, business worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. To be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. God, family, then business. Win, win, or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all. Success results through people. And they changed this one up a little bit. There's there's other words in here, but I like it. So we are a training, coaching, consulting, and technology company creating the culture and community where entrepreneurs thrive. right? So that's a good one there. And like I said, they changed this up, which I like it. Because this is definitely our tagline. Last year we came out with where entrepreneurs thrive. So now they're just building on it. To be the place where entrepreneurs thrive, right? All right. Oh, the volume's low. Let's turn the volume up. We higher. I want to create some electricity in here.
You want to push me to the front of the room.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Are we ready? You ready? Alright, that's so much better. Yes. So this is one of my favorite parts of our meeting. Our America's favorite game show titled
Name That Price!
Alright, I am your host here with Lord, along with my lovely co-host Mo. Mo, who are two contestants on today's show titled
Name That Price!
Alright, perfect. Alright, get your tickets out.
Last three are 890.
890. Oh, that was quick, you get into it. There. Alright, Jackson, come on down. Let's give it a hand. Yes. Alright, Jackson, you get to choose any chair you want. You see here? Alright, perfect. Alright, who's our second contestant?
893.
Come on down. Yes.
This should be easy.
The two newest to the company.
Right. All right. So it's interesting because both of you guys have. This is the first meeting you've gone to. You guys have never experienced this game, so this is gonna be fun. All right. So let's look at today's property. All right. This beautiful home is a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 1934 square feet. Obviously, it's a two-story home, 2-car attached garage, built in 1988. And what city is this home located in?
Chino Hills.
Why is it in Chino Hills?
Because we are in Chino Hills.
Exactly, because we are Chino Hills experts, right? Absolutely. So this home recently closed in the last couple weeks. It's a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 1934 square feet, built in 1988. And obviously, like I said, it's located in
Chino
Hills. Perfect. So, name that price. 4-bedroom, 3 bath, 1934 square feet. Closed within the last couple weeks, so it's in this time of the market, right? So it's in this time of the market. 4-bedroom, 3 bath in Chino Hills.
I'd say around 900,000.
900,000. All right, Jackson. I didn't call on you, but I like your initiative.
That's it.
I like it. But that's just him, though. I mean, I love it. All right, perfect. So before I go to you, Aaron, I want to hear from five people from the audience. Let's guess this name, that price.
1 million.
1 million. Okay. All right.
1.05.
1.05. Okay.
Is this what it was listed for, or what?
What it
it
sold
actually
for.
What it sold
Yes.
for? Okay, because I definitely think it sold for higher than what it was listed for. Yeah, I'm gonna probably go 1.5. No, not 1.5, like 1.2. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. 2 more.
1.13.
1.13. Okay.
1.1.
1.1. Okay. All right. So we got 5 guesses there. All right, Aaron. 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 1934 square feet. Chino Hills closed within a couple weeks. Just closed recently in today's market.
So I'm gonna say 1.05.
Okay. 1.05. All right, perfect. So the actual retail price, home closed at $946,000.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I shouldn't listen to anybody in there.
I had 45, 945.
See what happens? See what happens? The audience influenced you. Yes. You have a question?
What was it listed for?
It was listed at 9:30. Yes, good question. Yes. So the closest to the price was Jackson. So congratulations, Jackson. Yes. Give that a Jackson. Jackson, let me ask you, how many years have you been in the industry?
Oh, a week.
A week.
I got lucky.
You got lucky. I don't think you got lucky. I mean, you've been studying the market since you've been here. You've been on the MLS. You've been learning, and this shows, right? And one of the things I love about our industry is that you're not defined by how many years you've been in business to show your expertise. You can literally just take the time to learn it. And Jackson, only a week, and you're living off $46,000. You know what I mean? So that's amazing. And you win a prize. So come over here. Yeah. Oh wow. I like you. Oh wow. I like you. All right,
Aaron,
perfect.
what else has happened with Jackson in that week?
Oh, okay. All right. So what's been happening? Oh, Aaron.
Don't leave.
Second time I listened to the
So before I elaborate on Jackson's awesomeness, so first I want to let you know that, because you won today's game show, the next call or the next person that comes in the office and they're looking for a real estate agent looking to buy, sell, or lease, you get that call. So congratulations. All right. Now, everyone that participates in my game show does not leave without a prize. So come on up, Mr. Aaron. All right. So you get your choice in these beautiful books. We got the MRI, which is the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, or Your First Home, designed to help first-time home buyers. All right, take that one. All right, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the cool thing about these books is that if you go to kellerinc.com, which you find on that book there's actually a presentation. So you can actually do investor presentations or home investor masterminds or whatever you want to do, or you can also do first-time home buyer seminars as well. So not only do you guys learn from reading these books, it also gives you the opportunity to get in front of more people. So perfect. All right, thank you. You are free to go, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about Jackson's awesomeness. So you've been here for a week. So what's been going on, Jackson? What have you been up to?
Just working with the buyers. I have one person, she's working on getting pre-approved. The investor, I've been looking at deals for him. He's really specific. He likes auctions for pre-foreclosures, so I've been looking at that for him. The third person she's working on today getting pre-approved, and I'm still trying to contact the fourth person, I'm going to be honest, so just trying to get in contact with her again.
I love it. A week, guys, a week.
And where did this come from, Jackson? What are you doing?
The West Covina Parade, I just stood outside handing out business cards, talking with people, seeing their thoughts on the market, telling them deals. We met Catherine and talked about buying in at like a 5% interest, and they paid down their interest rate, so just talking with people.
Awesome.
I love it.
Love it.
It's only a week. Yeah. But that's to keep up with the work, and obviously we're all here to help you and support you.
Yeah,
So,
you guys have all
yes.
helped me. I really appreciate everyone. I've talked to everyone here, and everyone's helped me. I'm surprised, so I really appreciate everyone here. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jackson. All right. So let's give it up to everyone that's born in the month of March. So let's give it up. Yeah. What's up, guys? Right there. Yes. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I scanned the room to see if anyone's in the room with a month. Yeah. Yes, make sure to take a picture of her. This is her birthday. There you go. Perfect.
Next week.
I like it. I like
Read
it.
about it, but if you want to be like click, I'll do it. Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you. Yes. I wanted her to get a good pose as well. Yes. All right, perfect.
Debbie.
Nice. And let's give it up for all our March work anniversaries. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mark. It's been amazing. All right. So welcome to our newcomers. We have Ellie, we have Desiree, we have Kiva, we have Reese, we have Betty. Betty's right over there. Yes. We have Andrea. We have Diane right over there. We have Mark. We have Mike right over there. Yes. We have Frank and we have Prince. So you guys see him? We'll give him a nice KW Vision welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes,
You're
Jessica.
not saying my name.
Oh. And we have Jessica.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. Thank you for your help. Let's give it to Jessica.
That's a great reality.
And I'll never forget about Jessica. She's one of the people that actually wore green. So.
She passed
That was a test,
Extra
Jessica.
special picture of you.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. So this is the opportunity you guys to fill people's buckets. This is an opportunity for you guys to share with the person that might have helped you, might have encouraged you, might have walked you off the bridge or the ledge or whatever you want to call it. So I want to hear from three of you guys. I want to hear 3 buckets that you guys want to fill today. I swear, you're acting like asking for money or something. Tina.
Just want to say thank you to Tom and Brandon.
All right, that's two people, only one. I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding. It's fine. Tom and Brandon.
We're a package deal, right?
Either I'm helping him or he's helping him.
Team Roach.
Team Roach. I like it. So you said you wanted to give thanks for what they helped you
they've
with.
been super supportive. Like I call them, ask for something, they respond right away. I ask for a meeting, they schedule right away. Anything I request, they do it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just being very supportive.
I love that. Let's give it up for Team Roach. I'll call it Jackson's hand there.
I want to thank Mo.
What?
I want to thank Mo.
That's Mo.
She helped me get my business cards, and so she helped me get it really creative. So without that, I wouldn't have all those business cards to give out. So I want to thank Mo for sure.
All right, let's hear from one more. Oh, Debbie.
I also want to fill Jackson's bucket list fills or whatever you call it. He has been here every day, hard at work, asking questions, just jumping in, feet forward and ready to go. So it's awesome.
I love it. Yeah. You want to do one more before we move forward? Just want to, I'm feeling a little more grateful. So do you want to do one more before we move forward? Going once, going twice? Okay, all right. Perfect. So this is the opportunity where you guys get to pitch your listings. So this is an opportunity for you to share any listings that you have on the market, or any listings that are becoming on the market, or any sellers that said, hey, if I get this price, I'm looking to sell it. I want to hear from these three of you. You guys are realtors. You guys talk to people that are buying and selling.
Who has a listing?
William?
Okay.
William, you made eye contact with me, man, so that's you did it. You made eye contact.
I do have that listing still in urban, yeah. And however, the seller is kind of firm on the pricing and is asking minimum of 3 million. So it's
That was 2.8.
a little shaky. Before it's at 3.2. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I told him about the market. He accepted, something lower now.
Okay.
So hopefully.
Yes. And this property is in Irvine, so we'll make sure to get it blasted out this week too. So, awesome. All right, Debbie. Debbie has a listing coming up. All right,
No,
Debbie. Yeah.
before I forget, I do want to speak on behalf of Sandy Hilsinger Pate. She is looking for a property to purchase, pretty much as soon as possible, 500 to $1 million. So if you need her number or anything, you can come and see me, but it's Sandy Hilsinger Pate, because she needs to purchase soon. Or at least designate a property, because she's doing a 1031.
What location is she looking for?
I think around here.
Okay. I'll talk
Yeah.
to you after the meeting.
You have, okay, yeah, you can talk to me.
Awesome. Love it, Jessica. And Jessica's also a new agent with us as well. Absolutely. And look at that. She's already connecting. And I do apologize for missing your name on the list. That was not intentional at all. Yes, yes. Perfect. All right, we'll hear from one more.
Here, I'll do it.
All right, Gary.
Business opportunities are super hot right now. I mean, it even came up on the regional call that I was on this morning, that we're connected with a big-time CPA that does valuations and forensic accounting, and they're kind of opening up the platform even more. But that said, I've got two listings that I'll throw out right now. One is a wellness center, and that makes quite a bit of money. The books aren't as tight as I'd like them, but the money is there, and that's what I'm going after right now. And it's about 400 grand. Super busy, nice low rent. So in the wellness, care, anything to do with healthcare is on fire right now. Okay. And then the other one, which is totally different, I guess pretty much, is a kind of a high-end dog grooming salon in Seal Beach, right downtown on a nice corner. And I'm getting action on both of those right now, and that one's 300. And there's good fees in that, and I'll throw in what you should be watching out for, when you're talking to people and making calls. If they happen to throw out that, if I could just get rid of this business, then I could go buy something with you, grab that lead, and get it to me. I'm not that hard to get a hold of. I'm easy to split with, and I'll do all the work. So look for leads.
I like that. We'll do all the work. You hear that, guys?
Usually it works out there.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Any other listings before moving forward? Going once, going twice?
I should mention this,
Switch.
actually, it's not my listing, but there's a new opening in Walnut. It's a gated, guarded community, just by Valley Boulevard and Grand Avenue.
Brand new construction.
It's,
the terraces?
Yeah, the terraces, yeah. It's so fantastic, grand opening last weekend, actually, yeah.
Where?
On the 9th and 10th.
Walnut.
Okay.
It's right next to the police station.
Yeah.
Valley and,
They have,
Grand, right?
yeah, they have like 5 buses carry all the visitors around.
Oh, wow, okay.
For 2 days, yeah, consecutively, yeah. I think every day more than 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
what's their pricing?
starting 1.6. Yeah, up.
Condos or?
Right now they have single houses actually, yeah. They already pre-sold 5 phases and they.
Five
Yeah,
phases?
before the grand opening, yeah. So 5 phases
Wow.
sold and then they have more than 13 more phases on the single houses, smaller ones. And then they have bigger ones and not so many, yeah. The biggest, I think it will be over 4 million. About 10 houses or 12 houses.
Wow.
Demand is there.
Yeah, it's rare. I mean, it's gated and guarded.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you're into.
Yeah, my sister and I are launching a listing tomorrow. It's in Corona. It is a 55 plus community, but it's right by Dos Lagos and it's stunning. There's a view, it has a little back patio. It is gonna be at 715. It's 3 bedroom, really 2 bedrooms and a big office and 2 bathrooms. But if you have any older clients that want to move into a really beautiful, safe community in Corona, I'm hosting an open house on Saturday. Come say hi to me.
Yeah, I love that. Love it, yes. Anyone else before we move forward? We're good? All right, perfect. All right, so what's happening in the Market Center? So, yes, if you guys have not tapped into Productive Launchpad, make sure you do that. We just relaunched March 4th. So, and all the classes are recorded, so you can always go back and watch the recordings there, right? And then also, if you guys are in the productivity coaching, definitely make sure that you guys are reaching out. Any questions that you have, any frustration you guys are running into, make sure to reach out. The only way that we can help you is by hearing from you, right? All right. Also, there's hands-on classes. It's open to anyone. Mondays at 11:30. You can register there. They're going over anything over like writing up offers, how to open up super lock boxes, like things like that. So definitely make time if you have not to check out the weekly workshops. All right. Mega Mondays Kickstart. So there's also the Mega Monday Kickstart from 8:45 to 11:15. This is an opportunity for you guys to practice your scripts, do some lead generation, set appointments, all that good stuff. All right. And we have a lunch and learn coming up with UAMC's John Trios. He's going to be going over down payment assistance strategies for realtors. So definitely make sure to put that on your list. And not to mention, he's going to feed you. Oh, John! I didn't see you earlier, John! Oh, John can come up and talk about what he's doing. Let's get over John.
I just faded into the
Yeah, I
background.
guess so. You were wearing green, that's why I didn't see you. That's why.
And I just want to talk about this. There's a lot of talk about the Dream for All program, right? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to be involved in it. I don't want to burst a bubble, but the reality is it's only going to help a very small amount of people in this area.
It's not sold out yet?
It won't be because it's a reservation basis.
Oh, it's a
And that's
ticket,
what we're
like
gonna
lottery?
talk about. So, yeah, so April, the reservations from April 3rd to April 29th, and you have to get pre-approved with the lender first, ask for put in for a reservation, and then once they have all the reservations of the hundreds of thousands or millions of people, then they're going to randomly pull however many out.
Jeez.
And I did some numbers just based on $150,000, which is the max you could get out, $150,000. on the 250 million, I think it came out to like 1,600 families.
Oh, wow.
Right, so just like the last time they had 350 million, they helped 2,100 families. And each county is gonna be designated a certain amount. And I don't know if this number is accurate, but I did see that let's just say Riverside County, I think was gonna get 178 families. You know, so, I mean, we're gonna talk a little bit about that, but the reality is you can't focus too much on that program. There's other programs available that could help those buyers with down payment assistance. So we'll be covering, 2 or 3 programs. So come to that. And if you have any more questions about that, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer those questions. Thank you. All right.
All right. Thank you, John. Yes.
You explained it a lot better than you did.
That's not my job, Mr. Aaron. Did I call on you?
I'm front row. Apparently, I'm the only one front row seat, so
okay.
my comments are welcome.
Are they? Are they?
I'll pack up now.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
You're saying, oh, looks like your better half just came.
Oh, that's right. On cue. Better leave me alone.
All right. So it's been longer than 3 years since you've taken a headshot. You need to take a headshot. All right. Like you don't want to be like one of those realtors when people like look at you and they look at your business card and look at you again, right? So we want to make sure that we are updating your headshots. Right? Perfect. Yes. All right. So make sure to put this on your calendar. It's going to be Tuesday, March 26th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have it zooming in our office. It's going to be how to articulate your value to your clients. This is very important. Some of you guys are aware that there have been lawsuits going on in terms of commission and things of that nature. You want to make sure that you're articulating your value, why they should choose you against other realtors out there, as well as making you stand out amongst other realtors, and also being able to provide more value. And then also they'll go into, how to explain how you get paid, cooperating compensation agreement, things of that nature. And you're going to be listening to, the second most influential person in real estate, Gary Keller of 2023. We all know he should have been number 1. Yeah, today we're also going to have Jay Capizan, and then we're also going to have head of industry Jason Abrams. So make sure you guys attend. It's going to be here, and we're going to have lunch. So I'm throwing it out there. So we're going to have lunch. So yeah, so make sure you guys attend, learn, grow, and add more value to what you guys do. All right, so we are doing a coin drive for our Heart Vision Fund. So you guys probably see a jug out there with some loose change. So you guys make sure to go out there and donate. Our Heart Fund is designed to help our agents when they are in need. Whether you have like a health condition or any needs that you need assistance with, that's what the Kingdom Vision Heart Fund is designed to help you guys as agents. Yes, Jessica.
Will it help me pay off my student loans?
No one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, no.
Yeah. No.
I mean, Biden didn't. I'm just like, is there someone?
Good question. Good question. There's limitations.
Okay.
There's limitations.
You put dollars in here too.
That'd be a long list. I'm sure there's other people in here too that just saying. All right. So, family reunion. Who went to family reunion this year? Woo! Yes, I love it. I love it. So I want to hear from a few of you guys that went to family reunion. Let's start with the air horns at the front. Yeah. Yes.
Mercedes, your takeaway?
Ooh, I love my people, so it's nice to be able to see my KW tribe.
Okay.
People don't take advantage of agent-to-agent referrals, so that is a huge part of my business. And attending events, even outside of the actual masterminds, or where you develop and you grow the relationships and the bonds. And literally, when I got back home, I had 2 referrals from people I met for the first time at family reunion. So I would say that would be my biggest takeaway.
I love it. I love it. So with those referrals that you got, Mercedes, does that pay for pretty much your admission to go to family reunion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Like 4 times, 5 times, maybe more depending on how much it is, right? Exactly, right? And you go there, you're learning, you get referrals, it pretty much pays for itself. I love it. All right.
What she said.
Are you saying ditto? You're saying ditto too? Okay, perfect. All right.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, you go there, you get better, you learn more, and you're around other people who are doing it at a high level. And, you just get stretched out your comfort zone. So you kind of take for granted what's possible when when you don't go to that stuff. So it's in Vegas again next year, so you got to go.
Absolutely.
They're doing it in Vegas again.
Yes.
2
We got
years.
we got a good deal. We got a good deal. Yes. That's all I have to say about it. We got a good deal. Awesome. And Michelle, you are a brand new agent, and this is your very first experience at Family Union. How was it?
Yeah, like I really love the atmosphere. Like everyone, like I passed by would smile at me and say hi to me. And on top of it, I learned so much from like each and every one of the speakers, like because of how much experience they had. I love like Tony Robbins, and he said like come with like a lot of high energy. And I honestly would recommend like everyone going. It's interesting like to hear like even people from like other countries, like you know Colombians there, they have like similar like you know low inventory, which is really interesting. And like people from like out of state, they have like in Texas they have a higher inventory, which is interesting. But like everyone else has low inventory, so it's just interesting to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
recommend
that.
it.
I love that. You heard what she said. She said, I recommend everybody to go,
Yeah.
right? So I'm taking a mental shot of everyone in this room. So I am, so you guys are all going. So you guys can escape that. All right, perfect. And I want to hear from leadership. So Jen is leadership, obviously. She's our OP. You know, so what did you get out of it, out of Family Union?
So it's not much different than the agents. Like it's great to go there and get together with other leaders and find out, you know, some of their challenges and struggles and being able to just, you know, mastermind around that. Obviously the main speaker is listening to Gary and him talking about the market and the direction and the company and where we're going and our vision. And the exciting part is that not many companies do this. And so you go to others, they have conventions, but it's all about that, right? It's all about Century 21. It's all about CV. It's not about how do we help you as agents be better and what kind of information can we provide to you to help you grow and be better. And then, like Mercedes says, that networking of connecting with people everywhere, building that referral network, even as an OP, talking to other OPs, just, hey, you know, you got people coming to California, give us a shout out because we've got, you know, the place for you. So, and to get re-energized with Tony and Mel was amazing. So I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hard from the top, Tony and Mel Robbins. So it's gonna be interesting to look for next year. So awesome, great. So I want to go over in terms of the top 5 biggest takeaways. You know, just as based off of survey results. So number 5, Cato continues to have the best culture in real estate. Obviously, Michelle hit that on the head. Every time she was walking, people smiled to her, and I paid them, by the way, Michelle. So you're welcome. She didn't pay them. That's just natural culture. Keller Williams. So perfect. Communities are key. So we have a lot of communities. In fact, Mr. Erhan actually runs the Keller Williams Young Professionals community. So if you're under age 40, you should totally join the community. It's filled with a lot of young, hot, rock star realtors sharing best results, doing their masterminds, and all that good stuff. And thanks for laughing, Mercedes. I appreciate it.
You said hot. I had to call you out on it.
I was talking hot in terms of like, you know, like they're good what they're doing.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
Mercedes, I heard that. I'm like, where's he going with this?
All you young hot people.
Geez, keep it professional, people.
You said it, not
I
me.
said young, hot, successful. Oh my God. Okay, coming out the wrong way.
Young hot people.
So let's erase that. Young,
Hot in the
successful.
business.
Hot in the business. Thank you. That's what I meant.
Or
Hot in
on
the business.
fire.
On fire. Okay, so young.
I'm saving
on fire.
you.
Sort of, kind of, a little bit, maybe.
I don't run that kind of group, man.
Yeah. So young rock star entrepreneurs focus on growing their business, building legacies. Okay.
By the
look at
way,
that.
I'll be 40 next year and they're not kicking me out. So throwing it out there, I'm YP
Yeah,
for
that's the other thing.
life. I'm YP for life.
It's young at heart.
Oh, it's young at heart.
Young at heart.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I like it. Young at heart. Okay. Perfect. This year's keynote speakers will be hard to beat, like I just mentioned. Tony and Mel Robbins. So it's going to be interesting. See what we bring next year. Technology. A lot of it, you know, we're talking about AW Command and how you should put your database in there. And also the fact that they're going to be enhancing more AI. Being able to get to a point where you're going to be able to log in Command and you'll be able to see a list of the people that are looking to buy or sell within the next 12 months. That's the level that we're going to. So if you guys are not adding your contacts to Command, add your contacts to Command. And number one, there are reasons to be optimistic about the real estate in 2024. Check out the business speed slides to dive deeper. We'll actually go over some of those slides later today. Ahas. Just went over that.
Yeah, that's your
So May Agent Camp. So that's going to be coming in August later this year. It's going to be in Austin. This is a great opportunity for you to be around a lot of these top producing teams. They also have several breakout sessions there as well. New command. If you have not downloaded the updated command version, go to the App Store and update it because there are new enhancements. All right, Bold. We will be bringing Bold in June. As we get closer to that, we'll be providing more information. So, yeah, so I just want to give you a heads up. So coming in June, Bold will be here. All right, make sure you guys are not calling people on the do not call list because you can be charged $500, $1,500 per violation. As much as I love you guys, I'm not paying your fees. Okay, so make sure you guys are not calling those people. All right, now I'd like to bring on our guest speaker today. I had the pleasure of knowing him for like 5 or 6 years since I joined Keller Williams. So give a hand to Mr. Ted Rockers.
Thank you very much.
Of course, absolutely.
I brought these sunglasses because I need them whenever I stare at this soup.
Yes, it's a gift and a curse.
So Wendy and John are with me today. If you don't have one of these things, raise your hand because Wendy's got a few more she can hand you. I want you to kind of have this as I explain this unique program. Let me start by saying this. I think you named it Lender on Demand.
Yes.
Right? Lender on Demand. All right, so Lender on Demand, what does that mean? That means when you are working an open house, how do you leverage the people that are coming through the house? Because here's the reality. The reality is very few of the people who walk into the open house are actually going to buy the house. So what happens when they come in, they look around and they leave if you haven't captured them? So this system that we developed a while ago, I need to give you a little bit of a history. There is a program called Rate Plug. Rate Plug has been around for a long time. Not as long as me, not that old. But it's been around for a long time. And it was a struggling app that created open house flyers. So just have that in your mindset. Rate Plug, struggling app, creates open house flyers. Now come over here and look at the banks. Pacific Premier Bank, Bank of Cal, Pacific Mercantile Bank, Gilmore Bank. What do they all have in common? They don't do mortgage loans. So 5 years ago, 3 bank owners sat down with me in Fairfax and 3rd Street in LA and said, we are sick and tired of people walking into the bank and saying, do you do mortgage loans? We say no. And then 30 to 60 days later, all the money that was in the bank is now at Wells, Citi, Chase, because they said, well, we do mortgage loans. And guess what? Move all your money from that bank to here and we'll give you an 8th off. So these guys said, what can you do to help us keep our clients? And the answer that I gave them was, I'll marry you with Rate Plug. They're struggling, you have a problem. Let's do a little deal here, where when those bank customers walk in and say, do you do a mortgage loan? You can say, no, we don't. Call Ted. Of course, selfish reasons. Why Ted? Why John? Why Wendy? Why the team at United America? It's because we've been around for 30 years. We have the street cred that most mortgage companies don't have. When you have all these access to mortgage companies, ask one question. How long has your mortgage company been around? Probably not going to hear it 30 years. That's why Rate Plug and these 3 banks worked out a deal. So now what does that mean to you? Here's what it means to you. Pull out this piece of paper right here. This is a notification that comes to me. This is an actual example of a real estate agent His name is Matthew Thomas. You guys know him? North Tuscan Keller Williams agent. This is a Keller Williams exclusive, by the way, just so you know. So what happens is Matthew Thomas has a listing. It's on the MLS. Rate Plug sends the email to me saying Matthew Thomas's new listing has just gone out to, in this particular case, I don't know the rest, 5 borrowers. 5 borrowers. These are 5 clients of these banks right over here that have said, I want to buy a house, and I need that particular zip code. So in other words, you don't get a guy from Sherman Oaks looking at Matthew Thomas's listing in Tuscan. They have to earmark either 2 cities or 4 zip codes when they get pre-approved. Here's the other thing that doesn't happen. Let's say, for example, we've got them pre-approved at $895,000. And Matthew just listed a house for $1 million. They're not going to get it. We're not going to tease them. We're not going to jump us through a bunch of hoops and get you connected with someone who isn't going to qualify. So they have to hit the pre-approval target. They have to hit the city that they want. But what happens is it allows you potentially to double in. See, a lot of these people who walk into their bank and say, do you do mortgage loans? They don't even have a real estate agent. We found that over 5 years. This is a very expensive program. We've not put it out there because the fact is it's very expensive. Jennifer asked me as a favor to put it out to the flock here in Chino Hills. So we're probably going to do it in Whittier. But the point is, this is not cheap. You don't have to pay anything for it, because what we're going to try and do is create a scenario where when you have a listing and you get an open house, you possibly can double end it, but you definitely are going to be able to have this. This is the flyer that can be printed. John and Wendy can staple their card right over my old mug and put it in the open house. And then when they walk in, they pick this up and they get to see all the information. You were the facilitator of this because the listing agent's contact is right there. Now there's some restrictions. Let's say, for example, what's your name? William.
William.
Yeah.
William has a listing.
$3 million listing.
$3 million.
Let's just throw that
Do you
out.
really?
Yes.
Well, that was dumb luck. That was dumb luck. Okay, so you have a $3 million listing. Brian's got a hot, young agent.
Teamworks.
In his group. He's got a hot, young agent in his group that wants to sit on your open house. Because his hot, young agent doesn't have any business, because they're just hot and they're young. So his hot, young agent wants to sit on your open house. And you don't want to sit on your open house because you want to go get another listing. So what you do is you staple the hot young agent's card on top of your mug, right? And Wendy or John staples their card on top of the hot, formerly hot, loan officer. And now you've got something in an open house that seeds your business. This is not planned. This works. This has worked. I know that I personally have done loans for these clients where the listing agent did not know the buyer until they walked in. Because remember, they get an email of this. They literally walk into the open house and they say, where's this guy? And then the hot young agent says, well, see, he's on the other side, but I can help you. So in other words, you get an opportunity when you don't have listings to work open houses and get buyers. Because that's the whole point. This market, quite frankly, sucks. It's going to turn. It always turns. I've been doing it since 1980. When I started in the market, it sucked. And then it turned. I was rushing into the burning building while everyone else was running out. And I was the beneficiary. Because you guys are here and because you guys are working, this is the opportunity that you have. So if you want to take advantage of it, all you have to do, because understand banks are very protective of their people.
So when a guy walks into a bank and says, I need a mortgage loan, and it goes through this system, you're never gonna get that guy's information because for regulatory reasons, you can't have it. So what happens is, you have to sign up. So you have to send me an email invitation, say, I want to be part of this program. I can't just put you on the list, you have to ask me. And when you ask me, you will get a formal invitation, doesn't cost you anything. Your picture will be whatever you have on the MLS, and all the property details come off of the MLS, and then the rates are calculated literally every Friday, because open houses typically are on the weekend. So the rates are updated, so when they're getting these things, they're not getting these ridiculous, stupid low rates that people put out there, and then they find out that the payment's gonna be higher. This is not a beauty contest. John and Wendy are the best of the best. They're the top tier of our team. United American Mortgage has over 100 and how many? Jesus, I don't know, a lot of loan officers. But on our team, we've got 20 loan officers that make the cut. And if John or Wendy can't sit on an open house, they can certainly staple their card to the flyer, or we can reach out to someone else on the team who might be available. Give you a quick story. In Carlsbad, we just started in Carlsbad. One of the listing agents who has Rate Club got set up. We sent in a loan officer, and it wasn't even a Keller Williams listing. They had left Keller Williams, but they hadn't taken them off the system yet, so whatever. Anyway, the point is, the loan officer walks in there, gets a $2.5 million loan on a $4 million property, double-ended. They didn't even know who the listing agent was until they got the email. So this is something that I would encourage you to consider, and I didn't want to go this long, but
No worries.
do you have any questions? No questions?
So basically, you guys will supply the flyer as well, or we have to print them out for the open house?
It's virtual. It's a virtual flyer, so it goes out by email. So you can either print it, or these guys can print it. The point is how you get the flyer to put in the open house. John and Wendy can help you figure that out. But the client gets it by email.
Oh, okay.
And when they open it up, it's so cool because it's basically color. All the pictures that you put in the MLS are the pictures that they see. It's almost like having a client with access to everything that's in the MLS, all the
Will
notes.
I be able, as a listing agent, will I be able to also get the virtual tool, so maybe I can
Yes.
just have
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, and it's in the system. So what happens is when you send me an invitation, say, hey, Ted, I want this, and then you get the invitation and you accept it, you're gonna upload your picture, any picture you want. And the point is that what happens is every time you have a listing, the virtual flyer is created. Every time you announce an open house, another virtual flyer goes out to the people that are on the system. Yes, Jennifer.
Ted, and you just said an important part. This isn't an automatic thing. You actually have to ask to be invited to this. You have to send an email to Ted if you want to participate. It's not, we're not gonna send him everybody's email so that everybody is put in. You actually have to take the initiative to connect with them to get.
And I'm glad you said that. That's a bank rule, by the way. The bank said, no, Ted, we know, Ted, you're gonna just upload 7,000 realtors, you know. So it's like they have to ask. And we stepped on that, I stepped on that landmine 5 years ago because I thought, this is pretty cool. So I think I loaded all over North Tustin. Everybody got it in North Tustin. And then the bank is going, okay, some of these people, we don't know that they even want this. So you have to send an email to me asking me to invite you. Once I invite you, then you're in, and then everything else is automated.
Which also means every single time you send, I think, listings out, the payment calculator shows up.
Yes.
And that's a big part too. It's they get the financial awareness on every property that they're looking at with the payment calculator, taxes, all the above.
And which is why we don't sugarcoat it, because I don't want them looking at math that's bullshit math. We want them to look maybe even overestimate. They can take this flyer. You can probably take this right here, this second page. See the second page right here? You can probably take this, give it to your favorite non-United American loan officer, and say, can you beat this? And they'll say yes. This isn't a beauty contest. We're not trying to make it beautiful. We're trying to make it real. It's real. Because I've never had a client complain that, hey, the rate you got was an eighth better than what I thought I was getting, that's a non-starter. That destroys the whole integrity of the program. So you've got the two best here. I mean, Wendy and John, and I don't just say that because they're standing here. I say that because of the math. The analytics is how you get up to be on our team. You don't get to be on our team just because you belong to United American Mortgage. You got to have a pull for the rate. You can't have any complaints against you. You got to be the creme de la creme of a company that's been around for 30 years. That's a hard bar to jump to get in. So
I just want to say I like myself even more now.
you're still not hot enough to get in that club.
Not by Kirsten.
If I say Dave's too old to get in that club also.
We can create a club for you.
You'll get hard, right? That's what I heard. You'll get hard. Yes.
In closing, thank you very much,
Of
Jennifer.
course.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to see you all. And I just want you to know I'm so inspired by the fact that you're all here. You know, because this market sucks, and you keep working hard. You keep working hard, and you watch what happens when it turns. It turns very quickly, and the people who put in the effort today are the ones that are going to benefit. So thank you.
Thanks so much. Yes. Cha-ching! You like that? Put that money. I like it. Yes. So, let's go to slide. Okay, perfect. Awesome. I love it. Why are we still whispering? Got it. Perfect. So, National Association of Realtors did a 2023 profile for home buyers and sellers. The reason I want to share this data with you because I want you guys to know what home buyers and home sellers are expecting from the agent they decide to hire. So let's start. There you go. Is this my slide? Wait a second. Start from the beginning. All right, perfect. So we're looking at first-time home buyers. We're looking at 2022. What's the percentage of first-time home buyers in the market?
26.
For all the people that can see that may not be visually impaired. 26%, right? And now we look at 2023, what number is that?
32.
Right. So it looks like we are increasing more first-time home buyers in the market. Now, if we're looking at the primary reason why people want to buy a home, right? So if we're looking at the top here, what does it say up there? What's the primary reason why people want to buy a home?
Desire to own a home.
Right. Right? The American dream still exists, right? So if you're an agent, you're looking to work for buyers, what would be something that you're looking for? In terms of a client, what do you want them to say to you? That they desire to buy a home, right? They want to buy a home. They desire to buy a home, right? So if you look at that, that's number one. What's number two? What's the number two reason why people want to purchase a home?
Larger.
Exactly. Life changes, right? So they want to be, well, if that's not number two, guys. That's number three.
You agree.
Thank you, Rochelle.
You agree.
That's number two. Exactly. Desire to be closer to family and friends, because we know statistically a little over 80% of people that purchase a home typically buy close to family and friends, right? So these are indicators that you want to look for. All right, 10-year previous home. So this is how long a person actually has lived in a home before they decide to move. Now, if we're looking here, what is the highest time frame in terms of a person looking to actually be in a home? If we're looking at that. 16 to 20 years, right? So if I'm looking for listings, what am I looking for?
Yeah, but he wanted it on that one. It was
Your previous home.
Yeah, but you double clicked, it went to the next one. So.
It did.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go back.
No, that one's right.
Oh, okay.
That
So
one's the right one. It double clicked to the
You
next
fixed
one.
me when I didn't see.
Yes.
You were letting me know you fixed me. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
21 years or
Perfect.
more.
So we're looking at a 10-year previous home. We're looking at the longest time. How long is that?
25.
21 years or more, right? Yes. So if we're looking for sellers, what year should we be looking at? How long they've lived in the home before they're looking to sell?
20 years. 21 plus.
Exactly, right? Want to work smarter, not harder. Buyers expected. Whoa.
I'll do it.
Perfect, appreciate it. Yeah. So we're gonna put the clicker down. Perfect. All right. So buyers expected tenure. So if we're looking at that, How many years have they been in the home? Average.
16 to 20.
16 years. So again, if you're looking for people that are looking to want to sell their home, this is the time frame you're looking at, right? All right, let's move on next. Weeks of home search. So this indicates how long a person actually looks for a home before they actually decide to write an offer, right? So if we're looking at 2022, how many weeks is that?
10.
10 weeks, right? And we're looking at 2023, how many weeks is that?
10.
All right, perfect. So what do you guys have at Keller Williams that people can actually use? What do you guys all provided?
Our app.
Your app. And you also provided something else that people can Google or you can use.
Your business profile.
Your business profile. What's a website?
Website.
Everyone has a website, right?
Yeah.
So let everyone know that you have a website, because if people are starting to look at homes before they reach out to you, give them the website so they can search for properties. So this is the next slide.
Sorry, yeah.
No worries. No worries. You can move on, Mom.
My finger twitched.
Hey, see, it's not just me. It's not just me. Absolutely. So first step in buying a home. So we're looking at 2022. What's the first step?
Online.
Look online for properties. If we look at 2023, what's the first step?
Same thing.
Same thing. So what do you guys all have?
Website.
Websites. So people search for properties because we know this is where home buyers start. So anyone in your database, you should be sharing with them your website. Even if they didn't tell you they're looking to buy a house, the fact that they have access to your website increases the opportunities for you to get clients. So let's move to the next slide. Information sources buyers use. So 2022, what's the highest? What's the highest ratio for the information that buyers are going after or getting information from? Agents. That's you guys, right?
Woo.
That's you. So what's the percentage of 2022?
86.
All right. What's the percentage of 2023?
88.
Wow. So it looks like it's going up, right? So regardless of what you guys are hearing about these technology companies coming in and taking our jobs, the data speaks differently, doesn't it? It still speaks to the fact that you guys are still needed, right? You guys are the primary source of information. So you got to make sure that you're reaching out to your people. So if we're looking at number 2, let's go back. Let's look at number 2. What's the number 2 source of information for buyers use?
Mobile or tablet search device.
All right. You guys have that app, right?
Yes.
Right. So you got you're the 88% as a realtor, right? And then they're using your app. That's 72, right? All right. So let's move on to the next slide. Where buyers found the home they purchased. All right. So what's number 1 for 2023?
Internet.
Internet. Right. What do you guys have again?
Websites.
Websites. That's the internet, right? And that's where people are searching for houses. What's number 2?
Real estate agent.
That's you guys again. So you guys can literally rate number 1, number 2 in terms of where your buyers are buying homes. All right, let's move next. Value website features. So this goes over what buyers are looking for when it comes to features of websites. So we're looking at which part of the website does it look like buyers are more interested in, or they find very useful.
Property information.
Absolutely, right? Detailed property info and property photos. Guess what? This is all information that can be found on your
Website.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next. Method of home purchase. All right. So this goes over, let's see here. So if we're looking at 2022, the 86%, what does that represent in terms of home purchase?
Agent and broker.
Right. So that means that a buyer used a what?
Agent.
And what do you guys?
Agent.
Exactly. So that's at 86%. Now we're looking at 2023. What number is that?
89.
So what does that show you? It's going up. It means more buyers are using you guys. So regardless of all this stuff you're hearing about technology coming in, the data does not speak to that. In fact, it shows that people are trusting us even more.
And we're in high demand now.
We're in high demand. Thank you, Coach Baker. Perfect. Let's move on next. Buyer representation agreement. let's look at this number. All right. So 2022. How many people in the percentage? How many people signed a buyer representation agreement?
35.
35%. All right. What about 2023?
Not enough.
41. We're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction, right?
Still not enough.
Still not enough, but we are moving in the right direction. I go with positives, Mr. Allen.
Next year will be at 65%.
Ooh, I like that, Coach Victor.
Because
I like
the associations are getting aggressive in requiring us to film, and you want to do that, guys. I mean, you don't want to let your clients, there's no clients, not many, right? You want to secure the client because listing agents are hungry. And if they see that they go without you, oh, because you're on a trip or you're on vacation, they shouldn't be looking properties. You are their agent. They'll have a chance and ask the question, do you have a buyer's broker agreement? No, I don't. Okay, I can do this for you. I can get a discount for the property. There goes your client.
Yeah.
So secure it with the buyer's broker agreement. You will always, even if you take them to court and say, oh, I procured the closet, well, that paper will make you win in the association arbitration.
I love that. I love that. And speaking of this, Jackson actually just got one of his buyers to sign it. Remember, week in the business. He's already got it signed. How many years of trust did it take you to actually get that signed? I forgot. You only been this a week. My bad. All right, perfect. Let's move on to the next one.
Kier, just
Yes.
a note on that. On
Sure.
the oral agreements, those mean nothing.
Absolutely.
So,
Exactly.
I'm surprised it even says it up there because.
Yeah, I didn't even want to talk about that, just in case you guys even thought, like, oh, yes, I can get a promise from them. Oh, that's so weird. But they think you promise. I swear. I swear I'm their agent. Right? All right, so what buyers want from their agent? What's number one up there?
Help find the right home.
Buying the right home, right? Find the right home. So what's number two?
Negotiating.
Negotiations, right? Find the right home and negotiations, right? Yes. So that's your job, right? And how do you start that conversation with helping them find homes? What do you guys have access to? A tool that you can share with them?
MLS.
Website. Close though, right? Remember the website's more personalized. MLS, anyone can do it, right? Yeah. So it starts from the website. Oh, it looks like we moved a slide. Thank you. Perfect. So 50% chance, right? That's what they're looking for. So when you're talking to your buyers, emphasize the fact that you're going to help them find the right home to purchase. Because 50% of them, that's what they're looking for from you guys, right? They're not looking at, oh, well, I'm going to give you a kickback of my commission and I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to help you find the right house. That's why you should hire me. So make sure you guys are telling your clients that. Because, again, 50% of them are looking for that. All right, let's move on. How buyers found their agent. All right, so if we're looking at 2022, what's the number up there? What's the percentage?
38.
38%. If we look at 2023, what's the number?
43.
Well, what does that say? You guys?
More referrals.
Exactly. And then one of our rockstar realtors, Miss Mercedes Arahan, she just spoke in the fact of a lot of her business is through referrals, right? Right? So when you guys look at that, I don't want you guys to think, oh, referrals are just like friends and family. No, agent referrals, right? And the great thing, and Mercedes, what do you like most about agent referrals as opposed to like friends and family referrals?
They're warm.
They're warm.
They're warm leads. Most of the time, they're ready to go just based off the introduction from someone that they already know and trust.
Absolutely. And you guys are typically in the same industry already, right? So I just see it creates even more. So what's the second one on there?
Repeat business.
Yeah, exactly. What number is that?
13.
13, right? 13%, right? That's a problem. That number should be so much higher, shouldn't it be? I mean, shouldn't the agents that use you, they should be using you again and again? But it's literally only 13. That's crazy, right? So, again, referrals are huge. We talk about this all the time. So, and again, getting referrals from friends and family, and also thinking outside the box and getting referrals from agents, right? And I know Mercedes gotten referrals from agents that live in SoCal. They just didn't want to come over the hill. You know what I mean? Because we do have some of these poofy agents that don't want to leave OC. You know what I mean? They don't want to leave OC.
I'll take it all day.
Exactly, for sure,
Foofy though?
Yeah, foofy, I like it. I'm gonna say what it is. I'm gonna say it just like Young and Hot. Anyway, let's move on to the next screen. Buyer interviews. So this means how many agents does a buyer interview before they decide to select one? So if we're looking at the top one up there for 2022, what's the percentage?
6%.
And that's how many agents they interview? Wow. All right, so we look at 2023. What number is that? Did it go up or down? Right, and how many agents?
1.
Right, so that means that you have to be number what to get this buyer? Exactly. All right, let's move on next screen. Most important factors for buyers. All right, so if we're looking at this, what's the top? What's the top up there? So when we talk about experience, what comes to your mind when you think of experience?
Wealth full of knowledge.
I like it. Now, wealth full of knowledge. Okay, what else? What do you guys think of experience?
Time in the market.
timing, like experience as an agent, right? Okay, perfect. So I like that. So that's what I think of those two. And being like what you said about Mercedes, what you said, Mercedes, about the wealth of knowledge, that didn't have a time frame. That didn't have a time frame. I mean, Jackson, you are an example. You've been in business for a week, and you were still able to build the trust and the value to someone actually sign a contract agreeing to use you as their agent. And it's just because of the fact that you took time to learn. It had nothing to do with time. So when you guys think of experience, I don't want you to think that, oh, well, I've only been in business for like a week, they probably don't trust me. I want you to think of the fact of taking the time to actually learn your craft and study it, right? All right, next. What's the next one up there? Honestly and trustworthy, right?
The next one.
I didn't say next one up there, but I get what you're saying. I didn't say next slide, but I'll keep it. So honesty and trustworthy, right? These are things that you guys all possess, right? Honest and trustworthy people, right? So if you stick to those two things, experience, again, could be about you learning your craft, not necessarily years of you being in the business. And honest and trustworthy. These two things you put together, you'll have a higher probability of getting more buyers. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Home as a financial investment. So, is real estate good financial investment?
Yes.
What's the percentage of people that said that?
82.
82% of people said that, right? Now, we go to the next part. Is real estate a better investment than stocks? What's the percentage there?
54.
54%, right? So people out there, obviously you probably hear, stocks are great investments, all that, and they are, right? But the majority of the people that you guys are talking to still feel that real estate is a great financial investment, and real estate still outperforms stocks and bonds and other investments. So people are still out there looking to buy a house. That's what I want you to get across as I'm sharing this information with you. Let's move on to the next slide. Buyer repeats and referrals. All right. So, if we're looking at 2023, these are people that would have a desire to actually use the same realtor, right? So if we're looking at 2022, what number was that? In terms of definitely, that they would definitely use the same realtor? 76, right? If we look at 2023, what number is that? 75. It's gone down a little bit, all right? So we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to get that number up. But what it shows you is that, you have a higher probability of being selected as the same realtor if you stay in relationship with your clients. You got about 75% chance they're going to use you again, right? All right, let's move on to the next slide. All right, satisfaction. So, if we're looking at satisfaction for buyers, what percentage is that? 56%, very satisfied, right? And then we look at seller satisfaction, what is that? 70%, right? So these people still are satisfied with the work that we do, regardless of what you hear. All right, move on to the next slide.
Real quick on
Yes,
that,
sir.
on the buyer satisfaction, that comes from Google did a survey a while back and said that consumers are saying that the process is overly cumbersome. So like a lot of basically the reason why it's 54% and not 80% or 90% is because we don't communicate well enough to update the client about what's happening, and more particularly what's happening next. And so notice that it's higher for sellers than it is for buyers, because sellers have already gone through the process already of purchasing and buying. Buyers haven't. So most of the time, so those first time home buyers are like, what's next? What happens now? When is my initial deposit due? What happens after this? So a lot of that gets solved when we always let the client know what's going to happen next, and having a systematic way of them being informed about when this happens, when this happens, that happens. That just helps them reduce the anxiety about everything going on in the deals. Yeah, the unknown.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of agents don't do it purposely. I just think a lot of agents think in their head, well, nothing really has changed, so I don't really have to share anything with them. But the fact of you just telling your client, hey, you know what? Hey, Jackson, just want to let you know, we're still moving on. Our expected close date is still August 21st, whatever, right? That's still value information. As opposed to a lot of agents think, well, nothing's really changed, so I don't really have to follow up with them. Just understand that, we want to change that number from 54% up to 65%, as Coach Richard was saying, right? So we definitely want to continue to have that go up.
The key word in every transaction is just communication.
Absolutely.
If you have a good, reliable communication at all times, that client will be yours.
Absolutely.
We miss sometimes the communication when something happens.
Absolutely. Repeat referrals, right? Absolutely. So how do sellers find their agent? So if we look at 2022, what's the highest number there?
Referrals.
What's the percentage?
36.
36%. Huh? Okay. All right. If we look at 2023, what number is that?
39.
39%. Okay. All right. I mean, what do you guys think about that? You know, 39% of sellers out there are choosing a realtor just based off a referral. Just 39%. Absolutely, it should be more, right? Exactly, it should be more. So if we're looking at second place, what's second place? Okay, right. And that number should be higher too, shouldn't it?
It's funny to see the 76-75% of people that were satisfied or would use their
Exactly.
agent versus this number, and then the one previously that was like 20-something, 13%. So there's a gap in the like seller saying or the buyer saying that they would reuse them. There's definitely not enough communication or follow-up to bridge that 13, 26, 27 to that 76 number.
Absolutely. Because what the customer is saying is like, yes, Jessica, I'll use you again, right? But we're not following up with them. We're not getting in front of them. We're like, okay, great, and we just leave. And all of a sudden they use somebody else. Yeah, so absolutely that number should reflect higher, absolutely. All right, so move on to the next slide. All right, so seller interviews. Hello.
You got an assistant.
She's my guest speaker. I like it. Yes. so seller interviews. So if we're looking at 2022, what's the highest number there in terms of how many people they interviewed to sell their house? 80%, right? And that's just off of meeting one person. So what's 2023? What number is that?
81.
81%. All right, perfect. So what is this telling you? What number do you need to be when you talk to sellers?
Number 1.
You gotta be number 1. What's the percentage chance of you getting that listing, William?
80.
What is it?
80%.
No?
1.
Don't forget about that one. That one matters, right? So the thing is, you guys gotta be at the table. Now, years ago, when I was a brand new agent, you know, one of the strategies was, hey, you know what? I would like to interview last, right? Like, you promise, don't sign the contract until you meet with me, right? Because that was part of the script. That was part of the script. It's like, hey, you know, make sure to save me last before you sign something, right? Now, if you continue with that strategy, you're missing out, right? So instead of you being nice and you want to, hey, promise me you're not going to sign, be the first one at the table because you got an 81% chance of getting that listing. All right, so let's move to the next one. All right, so what do sellers want from their agents? What do they want? What's number 1 up there?
Price the home.
Right, exactly. And this is a tool that all of you guys should be able to do. Obviously, I know some of you guys are new, we're going to learn to do it, but you guys should all be able to price homes, right? You guys do something called, what do you guys do when you price homes? Comparables, okay. Awesome. So what's number 2 up there?
So market.
Market home. So marketing is important, right? So you're not just being able to provide them information in terms of how you're going to sell their home or what the price point is going to be, but they also care about the marketing, right? So you want to make sure you have those 2 things intact. Wow, then look at number 3. What's number 3? Time frame, right? It's like, hey, I want you to price my home correctly. I want to know the type of marketing you're going to do, and I want to know how long it's going to take, right? So when you're looking at your listing presentations, make sure you have that stuff on top. You have the price, you have the marketing, and then you also know the time frame of how long it's going to take to sell that house. Now, if we're putting these percentages together and we're adding them, what number do we come up with? 22, 21%, 20%, 63%. So that gives you the opportunity, you have 63% chance that you're going to get this listing if you focus on these 3 top areas. Let's move to the next slide. All right, most important factors for sellers. What's number 1 up there?
Reputation.
Would you say that Keller Williams has a great reputation in our industry?
Yes.
Absolutely, so you're already winning their reputation. Next one.
Honest and trustworthy.
Honest and trustworthy, right? So again, you add those 2. What, you moved a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries, we came back.
So we
We're
say
good.
54%.
We're safe. 54%, right? So you just concentrate on those 2 up there. The reputation, you already got that. You're with the number 1 real estate company in the world, right? Honesty and trustworthy. You know, that's something you can build on. You can also lean on the fact that Keller Williams has been around since 1983. Again, this is something that Ted brought up, the fact of longevity in our industry. All right, let's move to the next one. Repeat referrals. Look at that. Sellers. What's the percentage that sellers would definitely use the realtor they used before?
73.
73%, right? And you remember the previous slides that we saw, what number was that? Like 26 that they're actually using? That's horrible. That number should be so much higher. Sellers are literally telling you that, hey, I would totally use you again. So the problem is we're not staying in touch with our past clients, right? So we definitely have to do a better job at that because we are, we got a 73% chance they're going to use us again. So stay in touch with them. Now we use Command. Command has something called Smart Plans where we're actually able to just now reach out to your database. Definitely start using Command.
It's funny to see what we're doing better during the pandemic than the next 2 years.
Right, absolutely, for sure. And you got to understand too, Coach Victor, I'm sure a lot of these sellers directly reached out to their agent and said, hey, I want someone else. It wasn't necessarily the agents doing a better job. It's the fact that sellers were sitting at their home and they could hear their kids in the other room and it's like, oh my gosh, this house is too small for me. Yep. I got to call my agent, right? All right, let's move to the next slide. Method, thank you. Method used to sell a home. All right, so we're looking at 2022. What's the number up there? 86%, right? And how they sell the home with what?
Using an agent.
All right, perfect. And then we go to 2023. What percentage is that?
89.
And again, what's that representing?
Using an agent.
Sold a home using an agent, right? So we're still valuable. People are still using us. Now, if we look at these other numbers for sell by owner, what's that? 7, right? Because we know statistically, I think it's what? Like the first 2 weeks or so when a for sale owner is on the market, they typically hire a realtor, right? It's usually 2 weeks, right? And then if you go down, it's even less. It's even less. So let's move to the next slide. Incentives. All right. So if we look at 2022, what percentage is that at the top? None. 80%, right? You still get the deal, right? You still attract the buyer at 80% without giving them nothing, right? And if we look at 2023, what's the percentage? 77%, right? So if we look down, what's the second one to that? Home warranty, right? What's that, like 9%? Then you go down 7%, 6%, 3%, right? I want you to look at this and understand that you guys don't have to think that you have to give up your commission, you got to pay for these things to get buyers to use you. Because the data shows it there, right? 77% of buyers, use agents that didn't provide any type of incentives, right? Because at the end of the day, it came down to reputation, honesty, integrity, things of that nature, right? Let's move to the next slide. Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Awesome. So what takeaways did you guys receive from these slides I went over?
I don't know if you can go back like 3 or 4 slides.
3 or 4?
3 or 4 when it talks about sellers.
1, 2, 3.
Keep going.
Another one?
Yeah.
Right here?
I think before this one.
Before that one? Most important factors for sellers?
Yeah, so when you look at commission and where commission is on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 5 or 6 down. It's not. I hear a lot of stories where agents go in and we talk about commission first versus, last, right? And so, just for whatever that's worth, when you take a huge sample size of what sellers are saying, were the most important factors, it's not commission. And so when you have a good reputation, you're trustworthy, and you're referred by somebody, and you know the neighborhood, it's worth it for them to pay you. So it's just right there.
I like it. Even if you just add up these percentages before you even get to the 5%,
right? You're
already overwhelmingly winning. Absolutely.
Which makes me also think, even in your pre-listing appointment conversations, off the bat, that's one of the questions that they're going to ask you is, what do you charge? What's your fee? Mm-hmm. And so making sure that you're scripting your way out of that so that you can still make the appointment and then tell them about your reputation, let them know that you're trustworthy and honest before that even comes apart. So something to think about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many of you guys, when you guys are going on your listing appointments, like within the first couple questions, do they ask you about your commission? when you're actually at the table and you're actually going over your presentation?
They ask you at the listing table?
Yeah, like let's say like the first 2 or 3 questions.
No.
Is one of them commission?
No.
Exactly, right? Because they're focused on like who you are, what you're going to do to help me sell my house, your reputation, right, and the time frame, right? You focus on those things. The only time I've gotten hit up with commission is if I'm talking to someone over the phone. That's the only time I'm getting hit up for commission. But other than that, when I'm in person, that doesn't come up. Because I'm going over all these other things that are most important. The reputation, you know, the trustworthiness, the time frame, the type of marketing I'm going to do to expose your home to get you top dollar. Right, all of these things, right?
Unless you're a type of agent where you prepare a prepackaged listing agreement and you leave it there 2 days before for them to analyze, and then they call you and then it says, any questions you might have so far? And I just wanted to verify my appointment, right, for tomorrow. Oh yeah, I was concerned about, you know, can we negotiate a commission? Perfect. That's the first thing we'll address as soon as I meet you tomorrow.
And is that Coach Victor? No. I'm kidding, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically, but nobody does that. I mean, everybody makes the appointment and goes and introduce yourself and all that, so the commission tends to be at the end, right?
Absolutely, for sure.
And one notice I want to pinpoint here, this is a very valuable information, because I'm sure somebody has taken a lot of time to gather the data.
Thank Gary for that.
Okay, thank you. And then I noticed that if you notice that the sellers, they want us to help them, you know, sell the home. The buyers want us to find the right home. And if you look and you read, the paperwork and explanation of contracts and all that is very, very far down. It looks to me that, you know, they don't worry about that. They don't look for us to explain the contract, whatever, not everybody. And then the problems comes after you close, because then maybe they know that they have 3 years to go back to the seller and say, you lied to me, you hide this, whatever. And I think if we take a different approach, become the broker or the realtor with common sense, you know, and educate your buyers or your sellers on those disclosures. Because believe it or not, why do we have now in the next few months another page added to the RPA? Because we keep going to court. So if we take the time to also, you know, explain once we get the deal, I think we'll be getting a lot of referrals, you know, because people trust what you're saying, and you also is part of the transaction, you know. So I just wanted to make that comment, because this is coming, guys, and with the buyer's broker agreement, I think we should put our act together and make sure that we're doing a good job in order to continue to get paid the commissions that we've been paying. Because now you are proposing your value as a realtor.
Right.
And that's what you're going to have to sell. So,
yeah, I love
just
that.
a comment, my opinion.
Yeah, I value your opinion. You've been in the industry long enough to have a lot of value, Coach Victor. We appreciate that. We appreciate it. Anyone else wants to share? Anything that they got from here? What's important? Something that you might not have known that you know now?
I think just a comment, Q, and
Yes.
kind of going off of that is, commission really only becomes a factor when they don't see value. And when you're providing value and you go in and you have a great presentation, you have knowledge, you bring a reputation with you, commission does not become the issue, because they now trust and believe in you, and they feel you can do the job. And they're willing to pay as long as they believe that you can do it. So if they don't feel there's value or they don't believe in you, then yes, commission is always going to be a problem.
Yeah, love that. Yes.
I was gonna say that one thing that helps me and my sister at the listing table is that a lot of sellers are concerned about commission or how much it's going to cost them. And so one of the first things that comes out of my mouth is like, hey, we're gonna get to how much is this gonna cost me, what am I gonna price my house at, but before that, we're gonna, I'm gonna present whatever, or present my, my listing presentation. Then they can kind of focus on that value instead of thinking like, when are they gonna talk about the price? When are they gonna talk about commission? So I just kind of let them know like, hey, I'm gonna get to that at the end. Besides those things, is there anything else that you want me to cover up front? So that they can focus on my value through the presentation instead of just like being hungry to ask me about commissions. I just say up front that I'm gonna cover it, and it seems to help.
I love that. Because you're setting the tone of how the presentation is going to be, and I love the fact that, like you said, it gives them to focus on, you know, what you're actually talking about in terms of your order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Yes. Anything else? Anyone else wants to share before we move forward? Going once? Going twice? All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, first, I'd love to bring up our lunch sponsor for today, Lucia Camarillo with First American Natural Hazard Disclosure. And she has green on. Love it.
So I brought you guys some for you non-St. Patrick's Day people, so that you guys have some way to survive. Anybody have a listing?
William.
3 million. You, sir. That is all yours. I want that thing out of my house. My kid last night was just. So, thank you, everyone. My name is Lucia Camarillo. I do the First American NHD. Something I really want you guys to stop playing with it. That's what I told my kids last night. Okay. You guys can have chocolate. They're in there, they're going to say, but I have more over there. But what you guys really need to know is AB 1280. Okay? That one changed the signature page. And for most of you guys, it's going to be like, oh, big deal, nothing changed. It actually made a huge ripple effect. Okay? What happened is Government Code 51179 was removed from the signature page. So what would happen is CAL FIRE would go in and look at the city and say, okay, this whole area, you guys, the city of Rancho Cucamonga, we, CAL FIRE, are declaring this area a high or very high fire severity zoned area, even though it is in a local area. So then the city would say, okay, that's fine, thank you so much, CAL FIRE, but we believe that this city over here, adjacent to that city, should also be declared a high or very high fire severity zoned area. Government Code 51179 allowed the city to talk back to CAL FIRE. And then what was happening is these areas were being deemed as high or very high, and they were utilizing CAL FIRE resources, meaning they were taking state funds. State funds said, no, sir. You cities want to declare your own areas as high or very high. You will now have to use your own resources, your own forms, your own laws. Create your own, separate but equal. So now, when you get your NHDs and you have a property that is triggering AB 38, it is triggering a CAL FIRE designated zone. So then what happens with the city, Government Code 51179, with the city designated areas, we have identified those in our reports letting you guys know. That's going to require a little bit of legwork from you and I. What's going to happen in those situations is we will have to, or you will have to, or your clients will have to reach out to the city. Usually it's the fire prevention department, and you will have to ask them. The city has declared this as a fire zone. Do I need to tell my seller anything special? Does the buyer need to do some form of an inspection? Is the city requiring a form of inspection that is similar to AB 38? Brokers and office managers will need to determine, do we include the FHDS form, yes or no? Okay, because the FHDS form is tied to AB 38. When it's an AB 38 property, I know you need the FHDS form. That's a no-brainer. What I haven't yet figured out is under Government Code 51179, will they require that FHDS form, or is something similar going to be created, or is it a city ordinance that has been adopted by the general plan? Are they going to put something in place that's going to be similar, once again, to AB 38 and the FHDS form? That is yet to be seen. Okay? Have fun, you guys.
All right.
HDA form is the same as Fortress Wildfire?
The Fortress Wildfire Report is different. Sorry, I didn't allow for questions. The Fortress Wildfire Report is different. That one is trying to tell you if the property is going to potentially pass AB 38 inspection, and if it's not, then what are the pitfalls? And then it's trying to look at the property through the eyes of an insurance company, saying an insurance company is going to look more favorable if you cut down these 3 trees, if you trim down these hedges. But the wildfire report has its benefits, but it's not mandated by any
Well, it is.
body.
Because of reason.
Oh, Okay, and Keller Williams has decided to mandate it, so there you go. It's a good report for buyers, because you want to make sure that if you're ever in a court of law and they say, why didn't you check off this box on the RPA, better have a good answer. If you don't have a good answer, check off the box. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Yes. All right. So I wanted to bring our OP up, and she's gonna share some cool features, some cool stuff happening.
Fun.
Fun. I like that. Yes.
All right, guys, who wants to put more money in their pocket? If you do not have your hand up, you and I gotta talk after, right?
Tina, you need to talk after. Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's up?
Yeah, not long enough though. She's like one of those quick ones. Like kind of, sort of want to make money, maybe not.
So we've been working on some ways that we can help you guys, and in helping you, obviously it's going to help us. In order for market centers to survive, they have to grow, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
In order for you guys to survive, your business has to grow. It kind of goes hand in hand. So there's a couple of things that we're putting together that we're super excited about, and I want to share those with you. One is you have to qualify for it, so it's something that you can work towards, and the other is anybody can do this. You've probably heard about it before. We don't talk enough about it, but it's the disappearing cap. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh, great. So, disappearing cap. So you all have a cap that you pay the market center. That's all of the money that we get from you, and you go to 100% after you reach whatever that number is. What we're doing is we're putting an incentive program together that if you refer in an agent who has done 5+ units, okay, we are going to reduce your cap by 20% for as long as that agent stays with the company. So it gives you, yeah, there you go. So let's say Mercedes refers in an agent. They're doing 6 units. They name her as their sponsor. So now her cap is going to be reduced by 20%. Our cap here is 22,000, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anybody know what 6% of 22,000 is?
1440.
Yeah, no. What's 5 times 2? 10.
1320.
Okay.
1,320.
Is 5%?
Oh, I
No.
think you said 6%. Oh, sorry.
No,
Never mind.
5.
Sorry.
Sorry, 20%.
Never mind. This is sorry. This is
Wait, that's
20.
That's 4,400.
4,400.
15,000.
4,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So 4,000, whatever Victor said, it's going to reduce your cap by that as long as that person stays with our market center. If they're here for 1 year, you've got a reduction for 1 year. If they stay here 5 years, you've got a reduction for 5 years. Now, here's the deal. You can do that 5 times and get a 0 cap. If you refer us in 5 agents that are doing that 5+, you can actually have a 0 cap. Yes, ma'am.
What if they come in producing and for some reason they stop? What happens?
So, good question.
Wait, what?
If they stop producing.
Oh, they stop.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the way that this works is Mercedes brings the agent in, John comes on board, he is a producer, we know he's a producer. The reduction in cap does not happen until your anniversary date, and they have to have at least contributed 1 transaction at that point, whatever that anniversary date. So let's say she resets in May, brings them in now. In May, she gets a reduction once they've done 1 transaction. Does that make sense? So that we've at least received 1 transaction from that person. Okay, does that answer the question?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a way to do 2 things: reduce your cap and profit share. Now, profit share is when the company is profitable. We have to be profitable in order to have profit share. It's been a tough year, right? We haven't had profit share. So we really want to get back to growing the company, being profitable, bringing new people into a great place that we have here, and getting the culture and the camaraderie and the energy and everything back to the way it was prior to that pandemic thing that we all blame it on. But here we go. We're starting fresh, and we're going to move forward with it. So, excuse me. Disappearing cap is one way. The other one that we have is called the Platinum Agreement. Now, this you have to qualify for. You have to have done a minimum of 8 transactions, And because we're just
8
starting,
transactions win.
last 12 months, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because we're starting this new, the requirement is 8 transactions, and you have to use our escrow in order to stay in this program. The way that the program works is if you use our escrow and you have a minimum of 8 transactions, you will only pay a flat $9.95 for each transaction that you do. If for some reason you don't use the escrow, then you're on a regular split, okay? If you use escrow, it's $9.95, and then a portion of escrow is going to be contributed to your cap. So you're still going to meet your cap, whatever that number is. But this is a way that we can put more money in your pocket. We can support our affiliated services and help escrow and grow escrow, because that also helps us become profitable. And it's just a way that we're looking at how do we help you guys put more money in your pocket, but also how do we help us as a company use our services and provide more profitability. Yes, ma'am.
Is it any 8 transactions or any 8 listings?
It's 8 closed.
Just closed.
Right. So to qualify starting today, you have to have done 8 transactions. Okay? Moving forward, to stay in the program, you have to do 8 transactions and use our escrow. Does that make sense?
Doesn't count the lease. No.
So how do you,
leases are
how would you guarantee that someone's gonna do 8 after that point?
Because you have to have already done 8.
So like proven, but then
Consistently,
you're
yes.
saying within, is it a year
1
time
year.
frame that, I'm asking these questions just for out loud.
Yeah.
8 total to stay in it.
Right.
But if someone didn't do that, then
Then
they're out.
They're out of the program until
In that year span or the minute, is it based on cap? Is it
based on last 12.
It's just based on the last 12 months. So you're able to do this for a year.
No, okay.
So, 'cause
Once you
did-
hit the 8, got it.
Well, yeah, you did 8 last 12 months, then you're good for that following year, right? Yeah.
So what's the benefit again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
So you're only going to pay $9.95 for your company dollar.
Oh, the 6%.
Oh, no,
Well, you're split, your company dollar.
You're instead of being on your 80-20, you're going to pay a flat $9.95.
Oh, okay.
So it's putting more money in your pocket.
And if you're capped?
If you're capped, then basically you're capped, and we just give you
Yeah.
Right. You don't pay a fee for that.
How much is the litigation fee right now?
The what?
The fee for the E&O?
E&O.
200?
So,
95.
yes, well, it's on a monthly transaction. That actually we will be changing. We don't have that yet. As of June, there's going to be a new plan, which is actually going to be better for you guys. I don't have all the details yet, but right now the per transaction is the $125.
Oh, the 125 per so far.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question was just, are you automatically enrolled, or is this a program that you have to request to be a part of after you've made your 8 transactions?
Once you hit 8,
You're
then you
automatically
need to,
enrolled.
no,
So
you're not
it's an-
automatically, you
okay.
need to let us know you want to participate in the program. Yeah, it's not an automatic thing. One of the other things we're working on is to help you guys is we know there's a lot of escrow companies that are out there offering some services like photography and flyers. We can do the same thing. I'm working right now, we're trying to find a photographer that we can work with that will help us with that, and also getting the flyers done. So that is in process to help you guys when you're doing escrow with us, because I know that's a big part, and Q and I have been talking about how do we help you guys take some of those things off your plate so that you're not having like, oh, I gotta go get flyers, oh, I gotta do the photographer, things like that. So we're trying to find more services we can offer you kind of in a I don't want to say a bold way, but yeah, bundle. Good word.
Positive bundle.
Yes. That will help your business. And then these are just 2 ways that 1, we can get you profit share, and 2, we can get your cap disappeared, or you can reduce your cap by being part of the Platinum program. So if you're interested in the Platinum program and you've already done 8 transactions, CQ will make sure and talk about that and see how, get that worked out for you guys. Any questions? No? Okay, that was it for me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kim. Yeah. It's always great to find new ways to make more money and keep more money in your pocket. Am I right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys just hanging out with us today. I hope this was valuable. I hope it was educational. And yeah, now you guys can walk out those doors and enjoy some lunch.